Hey guys, how you guys doing? Happy Teaching Moment Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. I would love for you to subscribe. Stay tuned for every Tuesday where I give a lesson. If you tuned into Instagram, you might have saw my Teaching Moment Tuesday, and I talked about emotional vocabulary for kids. And I think that that's important for our kids to learn different emotional vocabulary, to express how they feel, be able to feel confident in talking about how they feel, and being able to accomplish things on how they feel. And so today, I want to talk to you about why emotional vocabulary matters and how to actually have our kids, our students, even maybe our mentees actually use these emotional vocabulary to express how they feel. So let's first talk about why emotional vocabulary matters. It matters because I've seen in my teaching career, and guess what? In my mommy career, where kids act out when they don't have the proper words or even words, period, to express how they feel. And we want to prevent that from happening. And so we want to highlight different emotions so that they can identify, okay, this is how I feel. I actually feel frustrated. This is how I feel. I actually feel overwhelmed, right? So we want to make sure that the emotional vocabulary is a part of our language too. We feel that when they know certain words, right, as far as emotional vocabulary, it actually reduces some of the stress, some of the frustration that they may feel. Not only that, it builds confidence, right? When they can express how they feel, it builds their confidence up. And not even that, it also helps our communication between them and us to be healthy. I feel like healthy communication actually helps. And it helps with their support skills and friendships, relationships, okay? So when we hear someone say, I felt left out, okay, you felt left out. Tell me something, tell me your emotional vocabulary that I taught you about you feeling left out. Oh, I felt frustrated that they left me out because I'm a great football player. I don't know. But they identify what they were feeling. They were frustrated. The second thing that we need to know is these signs, right, that these kids may show may be an emotional language, right, for them. But we don't want that to be the case, right? So oftentimes when I used to teach, right, or even now through my robotics program, I see frequent meltdowns. And it's more so the younger ones than older ones. But we can avoid these frequent meltdowns by actually giving them the area or the time where they can approach us and tell us their emotional vocabulary, their word that they're feeling, right? This I'm mad or I'm sad, I feel like it's not detailed enough, right? And so emotional vocabulary will definitely help with that. And certain times, kids, even adults, have difficulty explaining how they feel, right? And I feel like vocabulary, the emotional vocabulary, we can help them when they can target exactly how they're feeling. There are times when kids shut down, they do not want to talk. Yes, we give them their space, but we also welcome them to talk and tell us how they truly are feeling. So some things that we also need to practice, even as adults, because we have emotions too, right? We want to make sure that we model it daily for them. Model it daily for them. So sometimes with my boys, right, I always say that I feel overwhelmed, right? I need a break. No more requests for about an hour. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Give me a break for about an hour or two, right? And they respect that. They like, okay, mommy's overwhelmed. We're asking her too much. We're asking her to do this and that. Let's give her a break, right? Use every opportunity as a teachable moment. I love teaching, and I feel like some moments are more teachable than just being in the classroom writing on the whiteboard or discussing a presentation. But after any type of conflict, and I noticed it with my boys, after any type of conflict, we can always ask them, well, what were you feeling? And how was it resolved? Right? And so that way, that actually helps them when they're feeling something and no one is around for them to talk to, they can resolve how they're feeling on their own. And perhaps you want to introduce a feeling word of the day. You know, I feel like this will be something where they can actually practice using other types of word besides mad or feeling sad or angry, right? We can use other possible words. And I actually have another video showing other emotional vocabulary words that they can use. Sometimes books, I love reading, stories, right? Sometimes our testimony can help our children to use emotional vocabulary the right way. We can talk about how a character feels or how they felt during that time. And the fifth part, and this is like the hardest part, is to create a safe space between you and your child or you and your student. They need to feel safe. They need to feel that you give them that space where they can share with you, whether it's confidential, right? Or whether they can come to you. Because there's some kids that they're afraid to express how they feel. And we don't want that to happen. So let them know that their feelings are okay. It's okay to feel that way, right? And then, you know, I like to do like little activities, do a one-on-one. You can do a one-on-one with kids, to, you know, practice sharing their feelings, practice explaining why they feel this way, you know, and I think that this is something great to for students to practice, because a lot of times their emotions carry them to be very physical. And when I say physical, they're being physical with each other, or they're being physical destroying things. And so we want to make sure that they have that space, they have that teacher, they have that parent, they have that mentor that actually accepts how they feel and they understand how they feel basically from them expressing with their emotional vocabulary how they feel. So let's share, give these kids emotional vocabulary, give them the power to do that, right? The power to express themselves. We're noticing a lot of kids are not expressing themselves as much. We want them to have the power to express themselves, the power to connect with each other. They can share their problems with a friend. They can share it with a teacher. They can share it with their parent. Give them that opportunity to connect and the opportunity to grow from it all. So let's be intentional about our teaching and let's teach our emotional vocabulary words. Bye now.